Hello, hello, hello. He's putting his hat on. We're in our hotel room, so I wanted to do a hotel room tour. Here you can see our hats. Look at that. Model it for us. Model hats. Model tops. There's my hat.
Put it on.
No, I don't want to put it on.
Why not?
Because I'm doing a room tour right now. So here is the hotel room. We just checked in. It's like 12 o'clock. Here are the robes that I was talking about that I ended up buying Alex one for Christmas. This jersey type robe. I actually think I kind of like yours that I got from Amazon better. But anyway, so I want to do a hotel room tour. Here it is. Here's our bathroom. I love this bathroom. Little toilet in there. Then it has this huge shower. You can sit down in there and all this kind of stuff. And then here's our bed. Woo! Look at that. Fine man right there. And then here's our little sitting area. Huge TV here. Little sitting area. This is what it looks like from the coming in the patio. So look, you can see a little bit better with the light. And then here's the patio. There's like this huge tub out here. Couch. And this is the resort. And we just asked about the beach. And they told us that there's a little bit of a seaweed problem on the beach, which I can't really see yet. But can we just talk about how pretty this beach is? We're changing into our swimsuits, and then we're gonna go eat lunch and then go to the beach or the pool. Isn't that so pretty? So we made it. We made it on like 2 hours of sleep. We had to wait at the airport for like 2 hours. The flight was smooth. I watched like almost all of The Hate U Give except for like 15 minutes. So I'm gonna come back later and vlog. We're gonna go get something to eat. Are you unpacking first, honey?
I mean, I didn't know how long it was going to take you.
Oh, okay. Ooh, here's our room service menu and everything. So anyway, I will be back in a little bit later. Bye. Oh, I didn't turn off. Hold on. Hello, hello, hello. We just got back from dinner, and it is 1:45 a.m. We went to the Italian restaurant tonight. It was delicious. I never can pronounce that stuff. Gnocchi? Gnocchi. And I had this mushroom soup. Okay, let me just tell you first of all about the menu at this place. I was so worried about the vegetarian stuff, and we went to the buffet at lunch. Well, I'll tell you all about this in a second. So anyway, so we got up today and we left to go to the airport. We left at like 5. I asked Alex, because I have khaki shorts on. And I said, do I look, and I wore these bright blue sandals. I said, do I look like a Best Buy employee today? He goes, no, I think you look nice. So anyway, we got up today and left the hotel at like 5:30 in the morning. Got to the airport. Our plane left at 8:40. And I almost finished the Whitney Houston documentary. I think I have like 15 minutes left of it. And then on the plane, I watched The Hate U Give because I've been dying to see it because it was one of my favorite books ever by Angie Thomas. The one that I'm listening to on the come up right now. So anyway, I listened to, or I watched like an hour and 20 minutes of it. I think I have like 20 minutes left. And then, so we had, our flight was really nice though, didn't you think? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was interesting because like when you come from Indianapolis, it's kind of funny. When you come from Indianapolis to Mexico, like to Cancun, it's like, of course, like all, you know, people from like the Midwest, because we're flying from Indianapolis. It's like all like, you know,
well,
Kentucky.
That was the first time we did it.
Well, yeah, it was the first
time.
Well, the last time, but I've flown before, and it's typically, I mean, like whenever we fly somewhere from Indianapolis, like out of the country.
Yeah.
Like, Dominican Republic was similar to that. It's like Kentucky, Indiana, Michigan, you know. But today, it was like all, like there were a lot of Mexicans on our flight. The people that sat next to me were from Argentina. And it was just a really international flight. It was interesting. It was a huge plane, too. So anyway, the flight was really good. Got here, went through immigration, and did all that stuff. And then they picked us up so we could go to the hotel. And we're staying at the same place that we stayed at before, the Unico 2087. We love it here. It's gorgeous. And we were a little apprehensive that maybe it would be different or a change, but it really hasn't. Like, everything is just as fantastic as before. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we checked in and got up to our room. Like, I showed you the view and everything like that. And when the guy was bringing our bags up here, like, we came up with him, and we were talking to him about Dominican Republic and the seaweed. And I said, yeah, it was really bad. And he goes, well, our seaweed is pretty bad right now. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, it's like we've been trying to clean it up, but it's really bad. And I was like, oh. So he left. And I said to Alex, I said, are you going to watch a movie?
No.
I said, if it is just as bad as the Dominican Republic, I said, I'm going to be so disappointed. I just want to be on a beach, because we both just want to sit like on the beach, not by the pool always, you know? So anyway, we went down after I filmed earlier, and we went to go have lunch, and the little, like, they have like a buffet lunch here. This little outside restaurant. You could order buffet, you could get buffet, or you could order food. And so anyway, when we were walking over there, we smelled like this kind of like ocean smell, like seaweed. And I looked at Alex and I was like, do you smell that? He was like, yeah. But that was the only time we smelled it.
It was probably just like fish, like someone's fish meal.
Yeah, it was maybe somebody's like they had fish or something, because we didn't smell it later. So we eat lunch. I am like so nervous we're gonna walk onto the beach and it's just gonna be like seaweed central. It was beautiful. It was absolutely perfect. There was like, you know, a little bit of seaweed in the water, but like, I put a picture up on Instagram and it's crystal clear water, and then the beach is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, and there's like rocks and stuff that you can like snorkel over. We might do that tomorrow, but other than that, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful out there. And so we sat out and on the beach the whole day. We got out there, what, like 1 o'clock, something like that?
Mm-hmm.
We stayed out there till like 4:30ish. We met a couple from Canada, and I've now become that person that doesn't know a stranger. So, like, as soon as we sat down, I started talking to them.
I like it.
I do like it. I like it. I like meeting people from... We just sat in the bar, and we talked to these... I'll talk about that in a second, but... we always, like, make friends on trips now, and I love that. And so, we sat and we talked to them for most of the day. They were super friendly, and... she was, like, reading, and is that how it started? I can't remember. Oh, I asked her what she was reading or something, and she was like, it's a trashy novel. And so it was so funny, because she was like, when I was 10 years old, I read this trashy novel.
I think it was before that. Like, I don't even know how you started talking about it. Like, it wasn't about the book.
I can't remember how I started talking to them either.
I think it was sexual positions.
Alex, it was not sexual position.
Oh, wait, that was later.
It was not later, but we did talk about 50 Shades of Grey. Because we didn't talk about... You're so silly.
Well, it was so funny because, like, when you said 50 Shades of Grey, you're like, that book sets, like, unrealistic expectations up for women. And that, like, the boyfriend goes...
He was like, yeah.
Yeah.
She said that
I don't know
too.
what you're talking about.
Because she loved the 50 Shades of Grey books, right? And I said, let me tell you about those books. I said, those books set up unrealistic expectations for women, and the men can never fulfill what the women... And they just were laughing, because she knew it was true. But anyway, so we were sitting there talking, and she said... When we were talking about books, she said, I read this book when I was 10 years old. I love trashy books, and it was this trashy book, and it got me really started liking, like, you know, like romance thrillers, and I said, that is so funny. And she goes, I can't remember the name of it, but you would know it, you know, if I, like, told you what it was. And I said, that's so funny, because when I was, like, 12 or 13, I was on a trip with my dad and my stepmom, and my stepmom had this book, and I said I had, like, already read my, like, junior high book or whatever, so my stepmom gave it to me, and she goes, well, what was it? And I said, it was Lucky by Jackie Collins, and she goes, that was it! That was the one that I read. And so we were just sitting there talking to them the whole day. They were so friendly and just so down to earth, and, so yeah, there was that, and then Alex and I walked, and we got in the water a lot. We were I got Okay, I wore 30 the entire day today. My shoulders actually don't hurt so bad right now, but earlier they really hurt. But I wore 30 sunscreen the whole day today. And then I had a couple Diet Cokes and Alex had a couple beers and we walked up to the pool. We got in and at that point we were like Alex fell asleep on the beach. We were like talking and so I was talking to this, it was mostly me and the woman that were talking and her boyfriend was just like sitting there and they were like ordering food and she's like talking to me and the whole time she's talking to me she's eating this chicken finger and her boyfriend's like, would you just eat the chicken finger? And like these birds are literally like swarming above us and I have a towel over my shoulders because I don't want to get burnt and Alex is like, those birds are pooping really close to you. And so she's like talking and her boyfriend's like, just eat the chicken fingers so they don't poop on it. So the birds can go away. Okay, I was adjusting the camera and I moved it. So anyway, we were sitting there and so I have this like towel around my shoulders and she's like waving this chicken finger and one of the birds pooped right on my shoulder. So that was really funny. So anyway, but then we were sitting there and she and I were talking and I said something like, isn't that true, Alex? Or something, and I turned and he was like facing the other way. And I was like, Alex. And he like woke up and he was like, oh my God, I fell totally asleep or something. Anyway, we were exhausted. So we went up to the pool and then we got in the pool and we kind of like walked around in the pool a little bit. It was crowded at the end of the day though, don't you think? Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of people here. And, but it didn't seem packed really. Like the beach wasn't too busy, did you think?
The beach wasn't.
No, but the pool was.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No. I mean, in some spots.
Not like the Dominican Republic. Like I would say it's like half the amount.
The Dominican Republic was like literally like honeymoon central and it was just.
It's like half the amount of people I would say that were there then. It's also a much smaller resort. So it's really nice. So we came up here and then I wanted to take a nap and Alex was gonna watch a movie. So we pulled the blind shut, which of course made the room completely pitch black. Now, mind you, we're going on 2.5 hours of sleep at this point, right? And I had asked Alex, he doesn't like to take naps because then he can't go to sleep later. And I said, are you gonna take a nap? And he goes, no, because I wanna be really like ready to fall asleep tonight when we go to bed. I wanna get a good night's sleep and get up tomorrow and have a whole day, you know? And I was like, okay. I said, well, I'm going to take a nap because I want to stay up and read a little bit or watch a little bit of a movie or something because I, enjoy doing that on vacation. And so I like fell asleep. I must have fallen asleep like that. I don't remember. And I slept till like 5 to 8, I think. Well, I woke up and Alex was he had fallen completely asleep. Did you have a good nap?
Yeah.
The bed is so comfortable. This bed is, oh my God, it's so comfortable. So anyway, we had a great nap. We got up, we took a shower. We were going to go to the, they have like a Asian infusion restaurant here. We were going to go there. But we went to the Italian restaurant and Sex Alex was like, let's go either to the Italian restaurant or like they have like a grill steakhouse. So I was worried about the vegetarian stuff, right? So when we went to lunch today at the restaurant, I was so impressed, okay? They had an entire vegan section of this buffet, and the buffet food was fantastic. Alex had a cheeseburger that I would have like died for. It looked so good.
So good.
But I had like Mexican fried corn on the cob, which is what we got when we were at this restaurant in Miami. And what else did I have? I can't remember. Oh, they had like saffron risotto, plantains. They had so many vegetarian options. I was so impressed. And then tonight, we went to this Italian restaurant, and it's like upscale Italian. So it's not just like your basic fettuccine and spaghetti and stuff like that. And like every section had like at least 2 vegetarian options. And they had vegan options on there and stuff. And I got this mushroom soup that was like, it came in like this mug. It was delicious. And then I got the mushroom. No. I got the gnocchi. How you pronounce it? He just side-eyed me like nobody's business because I asked him this like 50 times. Gnocchi.
No, not 50 times. Every time you try to say it.
How do I? Gnocchi?
Gnocchi.
Gnocchi. And Alex had steak. Oh God, it looked good. And then what did you get for? You got a salad too, caprese salad. Mm-hmm. And then I got a cup of coffee. I forgot how much I love the coffee in Mexico. So delicious. And so I got a Mexican coffee. I got a coffee, And then we both got the tiramisu, and it came in this cup, and it was so good. It was delicious. And then there's this little bar outside. Well, they have like this dance area in there. It's really nice though, actually. And although they play like all wedding music. Well, at the end of the night they were playing Latin music, which was really kind of fun. And then they have this like beautiful bar outside, like with all, it's like huge. And they have all these like really comfortable like restoration hardware seats and stuff that are kind of like built into it. So we sat out there, and like halfway through while we were there, like all of these like people came up and started talking to us. It was like these like 3 girls came up and talked to us. 2 of them were from Cancun, 1 of them was from Mexico City, and they were friends. And this girl's brother came up and talked to us. And it was so funny because the one girl that we talked to, like that we talked to the most of the evening. So at one point I was like, so you're from Mexico City? And she was like, yeah. I was like, what do you do there? Okay, these girls were unbelievably educated. Let me just tell you. One girl was, he doesn't even know this because I was talking to her when he was talking to somebody else. She is an architect and designs, she's a CFO, so she's a chief financial officer for this hotel chain that their main competitor is SLS. And they're putting this hotel called the Shark Tower in Brickell right now in Miami. That was the girl that came over to us originally and talked.
That's the one that...
It's going to have a fin on the top of it, yeah.
That has like this shell, like it's like this.
A manta ray? She said something like that. And they're doing one in Cancun too. So then this other... They know each other from college. This girl that we were talking to, I was like, at one point, said something... Well, this was interesting. So Alex and I were talking about like in other countries... Because I had somebody that said this to me like years and years and years ago. And so we were talking about it tonight. That like... In the United States, like one of the first questions you ask somebody is like, oh, well, what do you do? Or like, where did you go to college? Or things like that, right? But like when you go to other countries, like people aren't really interested in that. Like they don't really ask that. But anyway, it did come up in the conversation later. And so I said something about like, oh, well, what do you do? And she was like, I'm in pharmaceutical sales. And I said, oh, that's cool. I said, like, there's a lot of people in the United States that do that. And she's like, I actually work for a U.S. company. And I said, well, who do you work for? And she said, you've probably never heard of them. And they knew we were from Indianapolis. And I said... Although we said Chicago because we said Indianapolis and they go, huh? Like they had no clue. So we're like, it's 3 hours south of Chicago. So anyway, she goes, I work for this company. You probably never heard of it. And I said, well, what is it? And she goes, Eli Lilly. And I go, Alex, she works for Lilly. Lilly in Indianapolis, like I would say, you think like what, 50% of Indianapolis works at Lilly? I mean, it's a huge population that works. It's probably Indianapolis's #1 company. I mean, so many people work there. And it's the headquarters for Eli Lilly. So we got her information, so when she comes to visit, because she's going to come there and do some meetings and stuff, we're going to like take her out. She was really sweet. She was really, really sweet. So interesting. She had spent like 6 months in Milan and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, yeah, it's been really fun. It's been really, really fun. There was something else I was going to talk about. I can't remember now what it was though.
Going to the bathroom?
No. Always. I did want to say this. I got a couple comments about this, and then I got a couple DMs about this too. People really wanted to know what our perception of Ultra was in comparison to the Fire Festival, because so many people are calling it Fire Festival 2.0. So this is the deal. Ultra lost its contract for where they usually are, which is the Bayfront. In downtown Miami because of the noise, I think is what it was, complaint or something.
It was a combination of
a couple of things. So they were on, what's the island called that they were on? I can't remember.
Virginia Key.
Virginia Key. So to get there were 2 ways you could get there. You could either get there by boat or you could get there by shuttle, and they weren't allowing any Ubers over this. You need to take the bridge to get over there, right? So it was all like shuttle bus, like these huge buses.
There's only one way in into the island.
There's only one way in and one way out on this road. Well, we had VIP tickets, so they included they included ferry shuttles for us, which literally, like every day, we walked up to the pier, like we got dropped off at the Intercontinental in downtown Miami. We walked up, the boat was there, we got on it, and it took off like 5 minutes later. And every day leaving, like I thought we were gonna have to stand in line forever, and we didn't. All 3 days, we like walked through the little line, we got on the boat, and we came back. It was super simple. We didn't experience anything like what people are saying. But the first night, apparently, because for general admission, you could buy, they also had ferries for general admission, but you had to pay $150. Is that how much extra it was?
Something like that.
You had to pay $150 extra. So, the people that didn't took the shuttle buses. Well, apparently, now you have to remember there were 60, I think it was 60 or 70,000 people there.
A day.
A day. So 60,000 people on a shuttle bus getting out of there. And it was interesting because before we left, Jason had done the math, and he's like, this is like 200 buses running constantly for like 4 hours. There's no way they're going to get the people off this island. Well, there was an accident, supposedly, or something on the bridge. And people like just mass exited at the same time. And so, like, people were getting off of the shuttle buses and walking because it was like a 2.5 mile walk. So they were like, we'll just walk and then get an Uber when we get over there. So that's why people were comparing it to the Fire Festival. The festival itself, for having 3 months to move it from one location that they're used to running it to another one, I thought personally, I liked it better at the Bayfront because it's just a bigger space. But I thought it was fantastically done. I just thought it was organized so well. The VIP sections were unbelievable. I didn't see like mass amounts of people just like running into each other. It was great. Like the attitude was super nice. It was really professional. People, I mean, everybody treated each other really nice. There weren't huge long lines for anything. Did you think? I just didn't see any of that there.
No, and like my favorite part of that was that, like, since it's like a historic location and it's like very nature driven, there was like a big concentration on like leaving no trace behind.
Yeah, they talked a lot about that.
And like literally, like in years past, like leaving, like you would see like cans and trash all over the place. This year, even the most of people like that were like not in the right set of mind were conscious about like throwing shit in like the trash can.
Yeah, there was no trash. It was so clean.
Incredibly clean from what we saw.
Yeah. So that was the first night. Now let me just tell you, the second day we woke up, and they had actually tweeted out before we had even heard about it that there was this incident, right? And because I was just telling Alex, I was like, I'm going to talk about it on the vlog because so many people asked about it. And Alex said, well, what I was impressed with was how transparent they were about it. And I mean, they literally, like the entire like second and third day between sets, because there was this one guy like on the main stage, and he like,
It's the voice of the music.
Yeah, he's like the voice of the music and stuff like that, and he like narrates the whole, I don't know, narrates the right word. He MCs the whole thing. So anyway, I mean, he constantly talked about like, you know, we're here to love one another and love the music, take care of each other, look for the person next to you. You know, we're not going to let happen what happened last night. These are the exits. They changed all the exits. They changed the whole strategy of how it went. And the second and the third night, I didn't hear anything bad about how it went the next 2 nights. Mm-hmm. And we actually had friends of ours that we met up with that had general admission tickets, and they Ubered in. I don't know how they did it, and they took a shuttle back, and they said they didn't have any problems whatsoever. And that was the first night. So I was like, did you guys have a hard time getting back? They're like, no, not at all. We got on the shuttle, and it was like we were back in like 40 minutes. So I don't know. Like, I think it's just now everybody's wanting to look for, you know, something that's going to be bad. But
and they were like, I mean, like they were like saying like they're like, yeah, like, you know, like we only had 3 months to like plan this. Like, sorry for like all, like, I mean, they took 100% like ownership. There was like full transparency. They basically took their weakness and made it part of their armor to continue to improve themselves.
Yeah, I was impressed. It was really, really well done. Yeah, and the DJs were honest too about liking it or not liking a new spot. I mean, they talked about it, and like in their sets, they would say like, "Do we like the new place? Like, you know, I miss the old place, but this is great too." And if you're an Avicii fan, so many of the DJs, because Avicii passed away, so many of the DJs. There was something else that somebody said that I wanted to respond to. You guys are so nice with the comments. I just want to tell you, I was reading through them today. But so many of the DJs played like homage to Avicii. Okay, where was the other thing I wanted to say? But anyway, it's been really nice just being, this is like a relaxation time of the trip. I'm like on the Peter Monn channel, not on my vlog. So how are you guys doing tonight? Sherry said, remember the old days when you said it was going to be a short video and it never was? Tonight it actually was. What is the deal with that? LOL, love you, Peter. Thanks for the video. It was short, you guys. I know. I just don't like, here's the thing. Like, I was going to sit down today and make a drama video. And like, everybody in the world knows about what happened with Jeffree Star and the makeup, and I will probably make a commentary video about that tomorrow. I haven't even watched this video yet, but I know everything. I've been following everything that's been going on with it. Kind of, you know, like, I mean, I know about it. I've read his tweets. I've seen it all go down and stuff like that, and I do think it's horrible what happened, and I'm gonna do a commentary video on it. But like, you know, 2 years ago, I would have been like manic about having a video for every day. And I can remember the last time that we were here, I was like, I spent like an hour and a half in the room. And Alex has to do a little bit of work tomorrow too. So I'm gonna make a video and post it. But other than that, like, you know, I feel so blessed to be able to be on vacation with my husband. And I also want this to be like, kind of like, I don't know, like, what does it say if I go on vacation and then I'm in the hotel room filming videos the whole time? I want it to be an example for other people that like, when you're on vacation, you know, like, we haven't really even been on our phones a whole lot. Like, I tweeted some things out, and of course we took pictures on Instagram because we love it, but I love social media and he loves social media, so it's fun to do that too, you know. But like, I mean, what does it say if like the whole time that you're on vacation you're like working? And you know, and I will say, like, my dad, when he was on vacation, like when I was growing up, like when he was on vacation, he was on vacation. Like, that was, I mean, he would work up to the second that we stepped on a plane, but like after that, he was on vacation. And I know so many people that like their parents, that was not the case. Like if their dads were on vacation, they were like working the whole time, you know? And, so this is hard for me. Like, I'm really trying. Oh, this is what I was gonna say. I was telling Alex today. So I've watched, the Whitney Houston documentary. I watched The Happy Time Murders. What was the first movie that I watched that I talked about? Bohemian Rhapsody, The Hate You Give. And I said to Alex, I said, I'm like really enjoying just like watching movies, because I have such a hard time just sitting and watching a movie, you know? And what did you say about that? You were like, I think it's really...
It's great that you turn your brain off like that.
Yeah, he's like, I think it's great that you're just like turning your brain off and just relaxing. And this trip has been so good for me on that, and just like relaxing and being present and being with the people that I'm with, that, you know, I really want to enjoy that. So that is why, I mean, like, I'm not posting as much on all my channels, and, but you know, this is important to me, so I want to continue to do that. And tomorrow I am going to make a drama video. I'll probably make a drama video every other day while I'm on vacation, because, I mean, we're going to be here, you know, till Monday, so, I do want to say this. So I have somebody that commented a lot on my video, on my vlog, and they said, if you're in Miami, come in, this is where I work, please come and stop by and say hi. So we were on Lincoln Road in Miami, and we walked there, and the store was closing, and I like knocked on the door, because like the guard was standing by the door, like, or the manager or whatever, and he opened the door. He's like, yeah, can I help you? And I was like, yeah, I'm here to see so-and-so, like, do you have somebody that works here by that name? And they're like, no. And I'm like, are you sure? I was like, and he's like, no, there's nobody like that. And I was like, okay. And so I started walking away, and either Alex or Melissa was like, did you maybe get her name, like the pronunciation wrong? And so I went back up there and I was like, is it possibly this? No, we don't have anybody like that. I was like, are you sure? He's like, well, we have techs here during the day, but no, like, nobody like that. And I was like, he was like, why? What's this about? And I was like, well, I make YouTube videos, and I have somebody that's like really nice, and they've commented on my videos and asked me to stop by. So I thought, well, we're in the area, so I'll just stop by and say hi. So anyway, I just want you to know, it was Lucia. So I said Lucia the first time, and then they were like, no, there's no Lucia here. And so then I said was it you that said maybe it's Lucia? Or was it Melissa?
Melissa.
Melissa said, how do you spell it? And I said Lucia. And she said, well, maybe it's Lucia.
Lucille.
It's not Lucille. So anyway, so then the guy looked at me and he goes, Lucy? And I said, maybe. He goes, well, we have, you know, people text here that during the day, but no, not anybody right now. Somebody on here liked your underwear, which I didn't even know you could see in the video.
What underwear?
The poppy underwear.
In what picture?
It was in a vlog that I did. Peter says to Alex, you better be nice to me, because this book might give me some ideas, LOL. My foot is absolutely asleep right now. Where was the thing? Somebody asked about. Annie, we are definitely going to meet, because Alex and I want to come to Australia, just so you know.
Can we stay there?
Alex said, can we stay with you, Annie? The sun will come out tomorrow. That's what I think every time Annie comments on my videos. You guys are just awesome. I love all the blue hearts. So please like this video and leave a blue heart. Okay, this makes me so happy. To borrow from Dr. Seuss and to modify green eggs and ham. This is how I feel about Peter's vlogs. Are you ready? And I would listen to him in a boat, and I would listen to him with a goat, and I would listen to him in the rain and in the dark and on a train and in a car. It goes on and on and on. Do you ever like your foot like is falling asleep so bad that like you start getting the giggles? What was I laughing about the other night in the room and I got the giggles so bad? I haven't had the giggles like that in a long time. The giggles. Who says that anymore? Nobody. Oh my god, the owner of La San Marturia is so hot. He's French. Did you see him? I saw 3 French guys. Well, I saw 1 Latino guy and 2 French guys that worked in there. I didn't think either one of them were super hot. Did you think any of them were? Maybe I didn't see the right person.
Yeah, maybe we didn't, because I didn't see anybody that was...
And of course, Tia gives me another thing to be superstitious about on here. I'm not even going to say it out loud. Okay, so many people commented on what Alex's mom says, and you got it right. So Pam said, my daughter is a 2nd grade teacher, and she tells her students, you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. That's exactly what the statement is.
Maybe she is my mom's a teacher.
Yes, because Alex's mom is a teacher, so maybe that's what it is.
No, like I'm saying, like maybe my mom is her daughter's teacher.
No, that her daughter is a teacher, and that's what she tells her kids. Renee, I love you so much, just let me say. Renee's always so supportive on here. And Renee's actually stayed here before. I don't know, she probably doesn't care, but we've talked about that before in DMs. Please don't ever stop talking about your recovery and sobriety. I need it more than you could imagine. I've been sober since December, and your vlogs are like a meeting for me. Aww, Courtney, that makes me so happy. Congratulations on your sobriety. That's incredible. We have no meetings or any sobriety resources around here. Love you. Okay, so let me just say this really quick. There are meeting forums. You can get a meeting online, number 1. Number 2, there is a fantastic website, and it is xa-speakers.org. It's online. It's all free downloads. They have Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, Cocaine Anonymous, Marijuana Anonymous, Heroin Anonymous, Gamblers Anonymous, Overeaters Anonymous, Sex Addicts Anonymous, Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous, Codependents Anonymous, CODA. They have Al-Anon, Nar-Anon. They have every 12-step program in the entire world, all speaker leads, and you can download them for free, and they're fantastic. So it's xa-speakers.org. You should check it out. It's one of my favorite websites. I love it. The other thing that you can do is you can get on YouTube and you can Google like women's AA leads or AA speakers, and it pulls up like 100 of them. I've listened to I think every single one of them. Shirley is one of my favorites, just in case you want to look up Shirley on there. And oh god, there's one, and this guy, and he's gay. It's on the xaspeakers.org one, and Tanya and I love his lead is so hilarious. He talks about a garden variety drunk on there, and he's like, it's like one of his very first meetings, and this woman's going around and she's describing like which kind of alcoholic each person is, and this woman says, oh, he's just a garden variety kind of drunk. She goes, we don't mess with him. And he goes, no, we do not. Like, because he's so boring or something like that. And then like he like is so bored being sober, so his friend says to him, because he, of course, like he's done drag and stuff, and his friend says, this is like from the 80s, he got sober like in the 80s, early 80s, and his friend says to him, she's throwing the AA Halloween like dance, and she says to him, and this speaker lead, she said, you can download this one. Oh, hold on, it's gonna stop. Okay, so she says to him that she's like throwing the AA Halloween dance, this masquerade. And this woman's like older. She's like 60 and he's like at the time like 30. And she says, do you want to do you want to be on the Halloween committee? And he goes, be on the Halloween committee. I am the Halloween committee. And then she says something about, like, they're supposed to show up together and wear these costumes. And she goes, we're gonna go as cowboy and cowgirl. And he's like, which one am I going as? And she goes, oh, you're funny. And so she thinks that he's gonna show up like as a cowboy, and he shows up like, Tanya and I laughed so hard over this. He shows up like as this like Scarlett O'Hara kind of cowgirl deal. I know that doesn't make any sense, but with like veils and all this stuff in full drag, and she didn't know what hit her. And so he shows up and she just takes one look at him and she goes, well, I guess you're running the punch bowl. And he goes, and I have the time of my life. So anyway, but it's just like one of the neatest leads I've ever heard in my entire life. So a lead, like in a 12-step program, is when somebody gets up and tells their story. It's called a lead. And you talk about what it was like, how you got where you are at now, and like what it's like for you now. Okay. Hi Peter, this is Amanda. People have been saying that Ultra is like Fire Festival. That was what. Okay, so thank you, Amanda, for that question. I thought it was a good question. I was going to make a whole video on my Peter Monn channel, and I thought, who'd care? Nobody, right? Oh, this is what I wanted to say. So, Arlay said, did you have plastic surgery on your lips? They seem swollen. I don't mean to be insulting. It's just something I've noticed for a while. I think that is so funny, because I would totally own it if I had my lips done, honestly. I wish I had fuller lips. But I think I talked about this in here when I was... Where's my bag? So when we were at Ultra, Melissa said to me, what is going on with your lips? And I go, what are you talking about? Oh, I did talk about this in here. She said, your lips are so incredibly red. So Alex bought me this stuff for Christmas. Well, this is the Dior lip plumper. But there's, here it is. Excuse me, it's kind of like a chapstick. I did show this the other night, but you might be able to see it in here now since it's a little darker up here. Can you see it? So it's supposed to match the skin tone of your lips, okay? Like, it's like temperature gauged. This made my lips completely red, but I know that this isn't what the person's talking about. I don't know. I don't know why my lips look swollen. I have never had anything done to my lips. I've never had any plastic surgery done. I've had Botox 3 times. The first time was 6 months before we got married. The second time was, I don't know, like a year after that, and the third time was like a year after that, and I don't want it anymore. Currently in my life, I believe in aging authentically, but I'm totally not like, this has actually been an interesting question with Alex and I, because Alex does at one point want to have plastic surgery, and he's like, but how do you feel about it for me? Because I always say, like, I want to age authentically, just like, you know, this is what you see, the wrinkles, all that is what you get. I'm like, do what you want to do, whatever makes you happy. I have absolutely zero issues with plastic surgery whatsoever. My dad is a plastic surgeon. My dad, I mean, from the time I was born until, you know, May, he was a plastic surgeon. So I have no issues with it whatsoever. And I would completely, honestly, 100% talk about it. And I would actually probably do a video and talk about my experience with it. So.
And they get Botox himself.
And Alex gets Botox himself. So I would talk about it if I had ever had it. I don't. Like, this whole issue of, like, judging people for that, I'm like, hey, listen, it's your life. Do what you want to do, you know?
What if I'm like, I need for you to get some Botox?
Well, then we'll talk, but you would not say that to me. He might say that to me. But but anyway, yeah, I mean, like, I'm not opposed to it at all. And I don't know, and, like, this is the thing. I don't know that someday I won't look in the mirror and be like, I want a facelift, or I want my eyes done, or something. I might, you know, like, or butt lift. I would love a butt lift like nobody's business.
I would like for you to get one.
But I'm not opposed to it. I do believe this, and my dad used to say this he would say it as a plastic surgeon. I mean, like, he's had nothing done ever, I don't think, and that I'm aware of. And he would say, you know, it's interesting because the majority of plastic surgery or cosmetic surgery. So my dad was a hand reconstructionist. He started, but then, like, when I was probably 12 or 13, he went to France and was trying to do liposuction, and he was actually one of the first people in the Midwest to do liposuction, one of the first people in the United States. And that was when he really started doing, he had always done, like, rhinoplasties, like nose jobs, and cleft palates, and, like, he's really well known for doing cleft palates, like on kids when they're born. I've literally had people come up to me and they know my last name and they'll be like, your dad did my cleft palate when I was a kid, and like it changed my life. Like I've had people say that to me. So I also had a woman one time in a gas station. She saw my name on a credit card and she said to me, "Is your dad Dr. Monn?" And I said yes. And she said, "Your dad did my breast reduction." She was working at the gas station. She said, "I've never felt so good about myself until your dad did this to me like 5 years before." She goes, "Do you want to, I'll take you in the back room." And I was like, "No, I'm okay." She goes, "Please tell your dad I said hi. He saved my life." So anyway, but my dad did cosmetic surgery, but he also was like, a lot of what my dad did was skin grafting for burns, hand reconstruction. Like he's known as a hand reconstructionist. But cosmetic surgery was probably 40% of what he did when I was growing up. But he would always say to me, you know, that like 80 to 90% of the cosmetic surgery that people get done, they're the only ones that can tell that anything's even been changed. Like most people, you couldn't even, like most people on the street wouldn't even know that you had it done. But to the person, they know it's been done. And so it's really about like self, you know, the perception, self-confidence, feeling good about yourself. And so just moving the camera again. Anyway, so like I said, I have no issues whatsoever. I would totally get on video and own it, you know. It's also very, very expensive. So I don't know. I don't know what I would get done. Like when I was younger, I wanted my nose done a lot. Like I would say that to my dad all the time. And I did want my lips done. But I've seen people that have gotten their lips done and it like drastically changes their face. And I'm like, I just don't know. Like I'm a little afraid, to be honest. We were having this conversation. We were walking through Miami the other day. Like I'm not big on like going to the hospital and having surgery and stuff like that. Like I think a lot of doctors' kids are like that. That you're just not big on, I don't know, like I spent a lot of time in, you know, hospitals when I was growing up as a kid, just being with my dad, that I think to some degree, like there's a fear associated with that to me. I don't know why. You would think I'd be more comfortable, right? The idea of having, I wouldn't like, I don't know that I would electively pick to have surgery if I didn't have to have it. But yeah, I'm totally supportive of other people. I think that people, it's your life. You should live it how you live it. So no, I haven't had my lips done, but thank you. Maybe I don't need to get them done because I just look like, Now I will say in pictures, if you're referring to Instagram pictures, I do always, I mean, people always joke about my smirk in the pictures. I literally, if you go through my Instagram, it's like every picture is identical and it's like this. Here, I'll show you how you do it. So I don't look like, when I take a picture, I can't believe I'm teaching you the trick. So you turtle, which means you put your neck out like this so it gives you more of a jawline. It's so embarrassing. He's asleep over there. So you turtle, which means you like, see, like a turtle, you put your neck out so it gives you more of a jawline. And that's why people are always like, "You've lost so much weight." No, I'm gutted. Do you want to see me stand up in this shirt? No, thank you. So anyway, you turtle and then you turn your head like this and then you smirk, okay? But you don't look like, see, like right now I'm looking like in the, you can't see it because like here's the lens right here, but up is like where the screen is. And so like for me, I would look like above the lens and you go. That's every picture I take on Instagram. This stuff does kind of have a little bit of a tingle factor to it. Dior. So these people that we were talking to, this guy looks at me and he goes, he goes like, the people that we were talking to in the bar restaurant, these really nice Mexican people, because so the one guy works down here in like Riviera Maya. His sister's from Mexico City and their friends live in Cancun. So anyway, he said to me, he goes, "Do you know who you look like?" And I go, "No." And I was like, "Oh, this will be good." And he goes, something about Dos Equis. And I go, "Oh," I said, "I already know where you're going with this." He goes, no, let me show you." And I go, "I don't drink, but when I do, it's Dos Equis." And he goes, "You know it?" I go, "Yeah." And I go, "And I'm not that old." So they were asking about our age difference. They were real intrigued by our age difference. Just interesting. They're like, "How long have you guys been together?" I'm like, 11 years. So anyway, it's been a good first day. We've had a really, really good first day. And Alex is... Huh? He's asleep now. So I'm going to get off here and I'm going to start uploading this or rendering it so that I can have it up for you guys. And yeah, I hope you guys are, what is tomorrow for you when you'll be watching this? It's Wednesday. I feel like I've been on vacation for a month now. Anyway, I hope you are, leave your questions below and I'll answer them in a late night Q&A on the vlog. So anyway, thank you guys for following along with this. And like I said, when I get back, they'll be longer and I'll be posting on all my channels regularly. So thanks for being patient. It's just been really nice to just kind of enjoy my vacation and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I hope you are having an amazing Wednesday. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Pass that on, tell it to somebody else, okay? I love you guys and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.